The moment my sight returned, I ran to find my husband, only to overhear him bragging to his friends that for the last 2 years, the man sleeping in my bed wasn't him, but his best friend. To understand why I didn't scream, you have to witness the depth of the betrayal. Lucas confessed to his entourage that while I was blind, he had hired Flynn Foster, Manhattan's most disciplined bachelor, to impersonate him. Also, Lucas could freely pursue his childhood sweetheart. He mocked me, calling me frigid, and laughing that Flynn would never touch me, treating my marriage as a cruel joke. But as I stared at Flynn, sitting coolly amidst the laughter, a plan formed. If they wanted to play games, I would win. I went home and waited for Flynn to arrive, pretending to still be blind. When he walked in, mimicking Lucas's voice perfectly, I didn't confront him. Instead, I wrapped my arms around him, letting my hands wander over his chest, testing the limits of his famous self-control. He stiffened, clearly rattled by my sudden affection. I whispered that I missed his touch, pushing him to the edge until his phone rang, saving him. He retreated to the balcony to answer, and I crept close enough to hear Lucas on the other end, demanding they switch places for a family event tomorrow so he wouldn't blow his cover. Lucas laughed about juggling his wife and his true love, completely unaware that the wife he thought was blind had seen everything, and was now preparing to make both of them pay for every second of their deception. I smashed a filthy mop into my husband's mistress's face, then collapsed into his best friend's arms, sobbing about my blindness, while my husband watched in helpless fury, unable to claim his own wife, without exposing his 2-year lie. To understand why I played the damsel in distress so perfectly, you have to see the chaos I orchestrated. At my grandfather-in-law's birthday banquet, I spotted Savannah, Lucas's true love, smirking at me with contempt. She cornered me outside the restroom and accidentally dumped a glass of red wine over my head. Without missing a beat, I grabbed a dirty mop and swung it directly into her face, shrieking that I was just trying to find my way because I couldn't see. Savannah screamed, covered in mop water, and tried to slap me, but I swung again. Lucas and Flynn rushed over, while Savannah threw herself at Lucas, demanding he punish me. I stumbled blindly into Flynn's arms, sobbing that I was lost and scared. Lucas ordered me to apologize, his voice icy, but Flynn, still playing the role of my husband, held me close and comforted me in Lucas's voice. I pressed my advantage, begging Flynn to help me bathe and rub my back, knowing Lucas was watching. The sight of his best friend holding his wife, promising intimacy, drove Lucas to a murderous rage he couldn't express. He barked orders for someone to clean me up, his possessiveness flaring. Later, I walked down a quiet corridor and overheard Lucas interrogating Flynn, demanding to know why the man who supposedly had no interest in women was suddenly getting worked up over his wife. I smiled. The cracks were forming, and I was just getting started. I seduced my husband's best friend right under his nose, and as we lay in bed, I listened to him answer a call from my husband, promising he hadn't touched me, while my scent was still on his skin. To understand why I chose this path, you have to witness the conversation that sealed Lucas's fate. I overheard Lucas begging Flynn not to sleep with me, claiming he still had feelings for me, despite chasing his mistress, Savannah, for years. Flynn called him a scumbag, pointing out the hypocrisy of wanting both women. That was the moment I decided Lucas didn't deserve loyalty. He deserved to lose everything. When Lucas dropped me off at home, handing me over to Flynn like a package, I set my trap. I lured Flynn into the bathroom, with a feigned injury, letting my towel slip to the floor. His resistance crumbled instantly. He kissed me with a hunger that betrayed years of hidden desire, and when I whispered that it was time for us to have a baby, he agreed without hesitation. We spent the night together, breaking every rule of their twisted game. In the aftermath, exhausted and half asleep, I heard Flynn take a call from Lucas. He lied smoothly, swearing he hadn't touched me, dismissing Lucas's paranoia, but as he hung up, he leaned close and whispered a question that broke my heart. Why did you have to love only him? I wanted to tell him the truth that I didn't anymore, but I stayed silent, knowing that the best revenge wasn't just sleeping with the man impersonating my husband, but making him fall in love with me for real. Welcome to share your feelings in the comment section. Remember to like and subscribe, and if you want to see more story content, please check out the other videos on my channel. Belize.